Welcome back to another episode of Dirt Floor Garage, and I'm Josh, and we're working on the 86 Buick again. Working on this quarter panel. Last night, I put it in some etching primer to protect that bare metal. It's going to help with any rust that might have been there and prevent from future rust. So, it's a real light coat right now. Didn't go crazy, didn't do anything else to it. But today, I'm going to start removing the paint. I'm not going to take all the paint off the top here unless I find something real crazy, but we're going to remove some of the paint from the top of the quarter and up here. So what I'm going to do now is grab my tape, grab some plastic. I'm going to start masking the windows because I don't want any dust getting in there because I got this really nice carpet. Went out of order, bought real nice carpet. Should have waited till later, but I don't want to get that dirty. So I'm going to mask this thing up and get the sanding. Got the rear window and door opening all taped up and masked up. So no dust is going to get inside there and ruin that new carpet that I bought that I never should have bought anyway, because there's so much other stuff that need to be done, and carpet should have been like the last thing. But anyway, so now I'm going to get to sanding down this quarter panel and sail panel here. So, more sanding. So I got the top of the quarter panel all sanded to where I want it. I'm not taking this section down to bare metal. The only reason why I took this lower section down to bare metal is because I wanted to make sure that I got all the filler out, because I ran into the other side, there was a bunch of filler. So I wanted to get as much of that filler out as I could, and I didn't find any filler up here. So other than up here, but that's where the factory was, where the seam is for the roof. So that's normal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my sanding block and some sandpaper right on this body line here. The paint's kind of built up. I want to sand that out because I want this line to look crisp. I do not want it to be like a flowy line because of all the paint's built up. It's just making it softer and softer. I kind of want a hard line. I want it to be, look sharp. So I'm going to get in there with my sandpaper. I'm going to sand it. Alright, so I got my body line all cleaned up to where I like it, and I'm going to start prepping this. I'm going to blow it off, and then I'm going to take some grease and wax remover, and I'm going to wipe down this panel along with this section here. I'm not going to worry about the bottom. I'm going to worry about that at a later date. But I'm going to get this prepped and get it in primer, let that sit, and then we'll do some blocking. Well, I was getting ready to spray the primer on that quarter panel, but I realized that I didn't have any reducer left. So me and June here are going to be headed to the parts store, go grab some reducer, and we'll be back soon. Well, I'm heading out to the hardware store here to get that reducer, and I'm stuck behind the slowest driver. Holy smokes, 55 miles an hour, and I'm doing 39, and there's been quite a bit of traffic on this road for some reason. Usually isn't a lot of traffic, so I'm not going to take a chance of passing them on just a little 2-lane road. So my little GMC I'm driving here is not in the greatest shape. It's got like 260,000 miles on it, so it'll blow up any day now if I really get on it. So I'm gonna keep chugging along here at a snail's pace. Might just get out and walk. So maybe I'll get to the hardware store today. So I'm back from the hardware store. I got my primer all mixed up, got my reducer. Now all I gotta do is mix this. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 part primer, 1 part reducer. So I'm gonna start mixing those. So I got all my primer mixed up. It's in the gun, ready to go. Nothing fancy. I'm just using this cheap spray gun here. Didn't cost very much. Got my little breathing apparatus here. I got my air turned down to about 20 psi or so. I kind of just fiddle with it a little bit. It depends on your compressor and whatnot. I know these are supposed to be low pressure guns, but if you don't have a big air supply and your compressor's always running, it kind of screws things up. So I just kind of feel around and see what I can do with it. So let's get a couple layers of primer in here. Probably do first layer, let it flash for about 3 minutes, and then put another layer. Probably do about 3 layers today. A lot of that's going to get sanded off. I know there's body work to be done under here, but I'll be able to show you more what I can do with the metal work and these dings and whatnot. They'll show up better once the primer's on it, and you'll definitely be able to see. So let me get the primer on this and get this going. You know, this is really ticking me off. I didn't have any trouble with this compressor on the other side, but for whatever reason today, it can't keep up, and I'm not even spraying that much. So we'll let it pump back up and go from there, I guess. Alright, let's try this again. I think I found the problem. If not, let's go with it. So it's been a few minutes now. I got the gun loaded back up again. I'm going to go for a second coat. See if this works a little better than last time. I got the second layer of primer on, and I'm going to show you how these little dings and dents are going to pop once I start blocking this thing. I might use a guide coat. I usually don't use a guide coat, but it'll definitely help show you exactly what I'm talking about with all these dings and dents when blocking. So we're going to see all the little imperfections and dings and waves. Now that we got the guide coat on there, I think I'm going to call it a day. It's kind of been a long day. I got lots of stuff to do. So next time we're going to start block sanding that quarter panel, start finding all the little imperfections. Sorry. We're going to do some hammer and dolly work, maybe some glaze work, maybe a couple layers of primer, and we'll see how far we get tomorrow. So if you like this channel, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.